G'day. Good morning. Happy Thursday, guys. Hope everyone's well. For me, I'm a little fatigued, actually. Been on an excavator all day. Just helping out my old crew doing some stuff for today and tomorrow. So, pulling some levers. It's been a while. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with where we always start. That's the calendar. So we've got unemployment claims at 8:30, and then ISM manufacturing at 10 a.m. So, like any other day that has news, I would be looking to only take a position after 10 a.m. Okay, so with news at 8:30 and 10, I'm looking to wait till after the 10 a.m. news to look for position. All right, let's jump to the charts. Let's have a quick look at how bias was yesterday. I think we had a really good day for bias. We had NQ. This was the setup for yesterday. Bullish. Had a ripping day. ES, likewise. Got a close above the midpoint of this gap. So that'll be interesting to see how today plays out. Also had a reaction to that midpoint once we close through. CL, beautiful move from this gap down here. So bias so far across the three assets are good. Dixie, I was neutral on Dixie, that's right. And we did start to move lower. We are starting to push higher again today. So I don't know, it's still very rangy for me. I don't really like what Dixie's doing at the moment. It seems very indecisive. Gold, how did gold go? Yep, beautiful. We had that move higher as well. So great day for bias yesterday. Let's clear the charts up and see what we've got for today. So NQ currently resting in this daily bearish FEG. We can see here that the midpoint of this FEG, NQ, was unable to close through. It's paused at that level. It's attempted to go through today and it's been unable to at this stage and has actually moved a bit lower. So when we're in an internal level of liquidity, we look to external. So daily bias would be bearish. However, we do have a couple of things in play here as well. We have a daily breaker here. We need to see today's candle close, see where that ends up before it would be confirmed for a bullish unicorn. But we do have this low high, lower low, higher high. This gives us our breaker on the daily. And if we were to run our projections off here, I mean, that looks very nice, doesn't it? Low resistance liquidity, aligned with our -2 to 2.5. Good area to target. So with our relationship from internal liquidity to external, I am still suggesting that we might move lower today. Again, being non-farm payroll week, who really knows? And with news today, we'll just see how that delivers. But that's not to say that it doesn't come down, you know, retest the breaker and then continue higher. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I will call it as bearish for today. So here we are on the hourly. We had an hourly bullish that we talked about yesterday. It has an FVG aligned, albeit just, but it's all it needs to be. Let's see how our projections look. Yeah, it's perfectly positioned there. So when we reach the -2 to -2.5, this is an area of consolidation or retracement, or we'll see expansion. So at the moment, it's acting as consolidation and retracement. We'll have to see if price has a willingness to continue higher from here. There is a fair amount of liquidity residing through here from this bullish price action yesterday. Here's our change in the state of delivery. So we haven't put in high resistance liquidity just yet. We do have low resistance. So we'll just need to be patient here and see what price decides to do. We still have a chunk of low resistance liquidity to grab up here as well. And we still have this gap to rebalance. There's no reason to say at the moment, though, that this isn't bullish still on the hourly. We don't have a change in the state of delivery here just yet. We want to see that with displacement. We don't have displacement yet. And we also want to see that, you know, these highs were to have taken an important level. So previous day high. So that would be the Wednesday high over here, for example, would need to take that high to be looking for that change in the state of delivery. So remaining bullish on the hourly. So at the moment, I don't have an aligned bias on NQ, so my daily and my structure aren't aligned, and until they're aligned, I wouldn't be looking to execute. ES. So ES on the other hand is definitely looks to me like it's the stronger of the pairs at the moment. So if you look at this is the 23rd, this is the 24th, and NQ is lower than these 2 days. That's the 23rd. So, okay, so we do have between the 24th and the 1st, we do have an SMT. It would be a bearish SMT between the daily highs there, with NQ being the weaker asset. ES obviously had the bullish SMT here at the lows with NQ, but ES has closed above the mean threshold or consequent encroachment of this daily SIBI, and it's also reacted off that area, and you can see it's quite an indecisive candle at the moment. So I would actually remain bullish on ES at the moment. So when there's a crack in correlation, it's even more so of a time to be patient. And it's really just due to the type of week that it is, non-farm payroll week, tons of news and volatility, also earnings week for some of the big tech firms. So it's to be expected. That's why it's also recommended to not trade Wednesday to Friday of NFP week. Let's jump down to the hourly. So bullish. So we had the same play out here with a bullish breaker plus FBG, giving us an hourly unicorn. Change in the state of delivery here. If we run our extensions out, you can see we haven't quite reached the -2 here. But you can see the difference here where NQ, so ES has now rebalanced this gap as well. So that'll be interesting to see how we play out from here. You know, was it reaching to that gap for a move lower? We have a tiny gap here. Equal highs. We could look at this as a bearish change in the state of delivery. Low, high, displacement. We do have a gap here. So I'll be keeping an eye on this level to see if price respects that change in the state of delivery. And that would also be a bearish breaker as well with an FEG aligned. So potential reversal here. So it's a little bit clearer here that it might be a reversal for me on ES, but this also means that I'm now not aligned on the hourly with my daily on ES as well. So same principle here until both are aligned. I won't be looking to execute. Over to CL. Great move yesterday from CL. So we moved from internal, a very nice reaction to this internal liquidity, and we've now swept external. So I'd be looking to see price retrace this morning, today, and look to fill some of this area or all of that area. So bearish on oil. We'll drop to the hourly. So here was our bullish breaker. Standard deviations. We cleared these highs. We also reached to our -2 and we've reacted there. We're consolidating. Haven't quite put in a reversal yet. But we did get a sweep of the highs here. And we do have low resistance liquidity down through here. It's a little bit yucky, this price action through here, so also put in multiple equal lows here. So we're sort of sitting in a bit of a range here on oil at the moment. So if we are going to go lower, then I'd need to look at this with some displacement through here and potential for this area to be the change in the state of delivery. So I'd be sitting neutral on the structure side of things on oil at the moment. Do we have inventories for oil? Let's have a look. I don't know if you guys know, but if you hover over, when you're on Forex Factory, let me just increase the zoom on this a little bit. Bear with me. Okay, can you see that? There we go. So when you're on Forex Factory, if you hover over Forex Factory to the top left, you can then have a look at metals, energy, or crypto news. So if we go to energy, we just filter. Clear all these out. So natural gas today. Sometimes inventories oil inventories were yesterday. So sometimes inventories are moved to a Thursday. So I just wanted to check on that. So that's how you use Forex Factory if you weren't aware. All right, let's go back to the charts. So maybe, you know, if we do get the move lower, we might see some sort of manipulation at open and then a move lower. We'll just have to wait and see what oil brings us today. So I'm sitting neutral on structure for oil right now. Let's go to DXY. So DXY moved from internal and it moved now to external. So potentially DXY may continue higher to close this area here. Again, it's just working from our external to internal relationship or internal to external relationship. So we moved from internal to external, and now we're moving from external back to internal, which is the remainder of this gap. So bullish on the DXY. Just have a look at the hourly. Let's clear that up. So here we are. What do we have? Our unicorn model. Low, high, lower low, higher high. Plus we have a gap there, so this is our breaker plus FEG, which is our unicorn. So we've got an hourly unicorn. Standard deviations, we'll have a look at that in 2 seconds, but we have high resistance liquidity, low resistance liquidity, so we've got these highs over here, which is also a ton of low resistance liquidity through here. That aligns with our -2 or close to our -2. So that's a potential target area. So bullish on the daily and bullish on the hourly. And this is also our change in the state of delivery. So that's how I'm seeing DXY, gold. Gold has had a ripper of the last few days. So we moved out of internal. We targeted external, which was right about here. So we've swept external. Interestingly, we've also come into another gap here. We've reacted to that. So I'd be looking to see gold retrace here somewhat. And it may just be a case of filling this gap here. So bearish on gold today. I'll tell you what, this unicorn thing just keeps showing up, doesn't it? Reversals in the market. Look at this. With displacement, closes below. reacts to the midpoint, and we get a nice push away. We just clear the daily stuff off here and throw that back on. So hourly bearish unicorn, changing the state of delivery. High resistance liquidity, loads of low resistance liquidity. Perfectly aligned with our -2 to 2.5. And there's even more down here if we get that extension to the -4. So bearish on gold, daily and structure aligned, which is what we want to see. Perfect. All right. Let me just flash something up here. Don't forget, guys, to grab your evals. My funded futures, you can expedite those in 1 day. They have 1 day pass all the time. You can use code Jimmy for that. If you're still considering one shot, one kill for news, we've got news today. We've also got NFP tomorrow. Believe it or not, drum roll, you're not going to believe it, Apex has extended their sale. So they're 80% off. 1 day pass has been extended for another 7 days, I believe. So jump on those evals. They're great for executing on news events. It's good scalability with Apex as well, because you can run up to 20 accounts once funded. So there is great scalability with Apex. Again, use code Jimmy. Links are in the description. Please like and subscribe. Really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for all the feedback too, guys. I really appreciate the comments. Things are going well, and we'll keep going with this journey. We'll keep producing videos every day. And if there's any particular topics you want me to focus on, let me know. I've got a couple of things coming. We're going to focus on changing the state of delivery, standard deviations, things like that. We'll have a look at NinjaTrader as well in the future. The trade copy I use. Yeah, so all good, guys. Thanks very much. Have a great Thursday, and I will catch you tomorrow.